Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. I was inspired to do this video because I was chatting with my girl Ebony from Industry Makeup Academy. I've been shadowing her makeup certification course. It's been really fun and educational, and it's like a month-long program, 3 days a week, where you can learn everything you need to know about being a makeup artist. And being self-taught, it's really interesting to learn some of the fundamentals that I wish someone had taught me when I was starting up. So I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks after work. I've been going for 3 hours a night, and I want to share some of the things that I've kind of learned with you guys, as well as it's been kind of inspiring me to make certain videos, giving me ideas. So me and my girl were talking about what our favorite brush cleaner was. We both loved Carrion Spirit. And I know that everyone has their favorites, you know, whatever works for you, but I thought it would be an interesting video to talk about what the best brush cleaner is and for what purpose. And if you are a makeup artist, if you do your own makeup, everybody needs a brush cleaner because it's totally necessary to keep your brushes clean, keep them sanitary, make them last longer. So what I'm going to talk about are the spray brush cleaners, the deep cleaning with shampoos, brush shampoos, all that stuff. That's a whole nother video. But I'm going to talk about, I think, the 3 most popular brush cleaners and what I think about them, and I'm going to kind of demo them for you. So we're going to see which one is the best. So here I have Carrion Spirit. This definitely, I would say, for the longest time was my favorite. It is a citrus smelling brush cleaner, which is really good because it dries quickly and it really breaks down oils in the product, especially lipsticks and concealers and foundations. But really fast for a quick brush clean, especially if like you're doing it in the middle of a look, you need to switch a color, it dries really quick. And then this has been a cult favorite for a really long time, Cinema Secrets brush cleaner, the famous blue. This is really has been talked about for years, and at first I didn't really understand why it was so great, but then lately I've been loving it. I happened to get it at a show. I think someone gave it to me at a show, and it has a really clean scent. It's a lot more, I guess it's kind of like more medical smelling, but not in a bad way. This one smells like oranges, this one just smells like really clean. So it does dry really fast, and it feels like it gets your brushes clean without leaving any kind of an oily residue, kind of like Carrion Spirit sometimes does, which is good for getting out the makeup but not for leaving residue and bristles. And then I think everybody has used a MAC brush cleanser. I used to only use this back when I was first getting started, when I was like obsessed with MAC. As you can see, this bottle is full because it's just been sitting here forever. I haven't really touched it, but this is a very gentle brush cleaner. I think it's gentle, so that's a good, I guess, if you don't want to damage your bristles with anything too harsh or too much chemicals. But I kind of find that it's not hardcore enough to get stuff out of my brushes. Just saying. So what I'm just going to do is just demo this for you so you can see for yourself. Alright, so what I have right here is just a clipboard with some paper towels. So whenever I clean my makeup brushes, I'll spray onto a paper towel, and then I'll wipe the brush back and forth until I can't really see the product, or it's there might be some residue, but as long as it's clean enough to use again. And it also sanitizes the brushes so you can use them between different clients. So what I have right here are 3 foundation brushes with a brown kind of colored foundation, so you can definitely see the foundation on here. And then 3 natural haired eyeshadow brushes. So we have synthetic and natural hair, and these have a brown shadow on them as well. So we're gonna see which one works the best. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is spray the Carrion Spirit on here. Then I'm gonna take the foundation brush. And do you see how that foundation just kind of melts off of the brush? Sometimes you have to kind of go like this and rub it off like that. And this foundation has been sitting in this brush for a couple of days. So I'm just kind of trying to see how much comes off in this little one area. And sometimes you have to just do a swirl. You could go back and forth. And that's it. It's dry now because it's not, well, a little bit. It's still coming off here. So let's see what that brush looks like. It does have a tiny bit of an oily residue, but as you can see, for the most part, most of the product got off. It's a little bit right here, just like on the edges, but for the most part, compared with what it kind of looked like before, most of the external product is off. So let's go ahead and do one more spray just to kind of get a really thorough clean on a different area without the product, and let's go again. As you can see, not much is coming off because there's not a lot left on there, and I'm trying to get the external stain off the brushes. Okay. And it looks pretty clean. It's just a little bit of residue on there, but it smells really good. So like oranges, that's like the first thing you'll notice about this brush cleaner. And it looks pretty decent. See how it's nice and flexible? Nothing came off on my finger. So yeah, that is test number 1. Let's go ahead and do Cinema Secrets next. So I do a couple of spritz, and then my next foundation brush. I'm gonna rub it back and forth. Swirl. The swirling is so that you kind of get to the inside of the bristles where the product is caked down, and then this kind of gets the outside of the brushes. So let's take a look. That side looks pretty clean, and then you have still some residue, so let's do one more test. And let's see how clean we can get this brush on the second go. I can see that less product came out compared to this one. So it seems like more product came out on the first go. Alright, so let's take a look at it. So as you can see, the outside is still kind of stained with foundation, but it feels like there's not really as much of a residue on this as the other one. So just kind of putting that out there. And this is the comparison. The Carrion Spirit actually looks a little bit dirtier. So let's go ahead and last do MAC. So MAC, you can put this in a spray bottle, but it comes in this kind of container. So what you're supposed to do is just kind of dribble it onto paper. That's where I put it, where it's wet. And then we're gonna go back and forth. So immediately I can tell that not as much product is coming off. And I feel like it's really wet, meaning it won't dry as quick. Okay. So that's the best I can kind of clean it right there. Let's do a little bit more. And then do a second run. Alright, so looking at the product, it actually looks, the brush, it looks pretty clean, but it is very wet, super duper wet compared with the other two. So, has a very faint scent, nothing that you can really smell. It smells clean. Alright, so out of the 3, by appearances alone, to me it looks like the Cinema Secrets brush cleanser looks like the cleanest brush. And then here's the Carrion Spirit, and then the MAC. It might have been, there could be some variables, but it could have been that there was more product on one of the foundation brushes, but from first use, this seems to get most of the product off using this method. Let's try it with powder brushes, because powder is a little different than foundation. So first I'm going to try Carrion Spirit. I'm going to spray it right here. And then this is also a brown eyeshadow, and I think that's pretty much it. It's clean. I don't need to go again. It's very, very clean. Probably should have not done a brown with a brown bristle brush, but it feels dry. It feels dry already, and there's no residue on that one. So let's try the next one, which is Cinema Secrets. You only need to spray once because it's a smaller brush.